Yo, what's up? My name is troyvixious, and today I'm breaking down the beat for Private by KILJ MIDWXST. So I started off with this loop that I found in Cody's Discord server. If you didn't know, he has a section called Gammon Loops, and it's basically just a bunch of loops from Internet Money members. And I found this loop by Dinox and VVS Pipes, and it sounds like this. So then I took that loop and I brought it into Ableton. I added a simple EQ, some fresh air to add a little bit more high end to the sound, and it sounds like this. So it's not crazy different, but it just has a little bit more high end to it. Next I added this lead that sounds like this. And this is from one of Dinox's serum banks too. It's called the Plasma Lead. And then I just added another simple EQ to shape the sound a bit. Next up, I added this one crazy ARP, and it sounds like this. So yeah, it sounds kind of crazy, but it's all just the same chord arpeggiated in a bunch of different octaves. And then this second part, I basically just took the same notes but stretched them out so it's not so fast. And this is another one of Dinox's serum presets. It's the Candy Lead. And then I added this infiltrator preset called Ceramics, and it adds these cool kind of effects to the sound. Let me show you before and after. This is without it. And then this is with it. So it's pretty subtle, but it adds almost like these vocal sounds to the background of it, and it adds like some really cool flavor to the sound. Next I added this Valhalla vintage verb to add a little bit of reverb to the sound, and then the full melody sounds like this. So those two synths that I added some pretty nice character to the melody without being too much. Next I added this 808 I found from one of Pink Grills' kit, and it sounds like this. At this part I added some note expression from the Ableton piano roll to make the 808 note slide down like this. And I like to use this method to make my 808 slides when I do them in Ableton. Next we got these two snares and this one rim sound. And all together they have a really simple bounce that sounds like this. So yeah, I kept it really simple with the percussion. The melody is already pretty busy, so I don't want to do too much here. I added some panning effects to the snare right here. It goes a little bit to the left and then to the right. Next I added this hi-hat. It's mostly just a two-step pattern with a few rolls and some empty space to create some bounce. This roll section over here is just 30-second triplet notes with different velocities so everything doesn't hit the same. And then I also took out some hi-hats from this section here, and the negative space just creates a little bit of extra bounce when you combine all the other elements together. Lastly, I added this open hat sound and some effects that I found from one of Pink Grills' kit, and they both sound like this. I added some panning to this effect so it goes from left to right, which creates this really cool stereo sound. And then altogether the drums sound like this. And then I added this riser and this white noise effect to make the transitions a little bit more interesting. And then altogether the beat sounds like this. yeah, that's the entire beat. Since the melodies have a lot going on, I went with a really simple bounce for the rest of the drums. You can't have like a super complicated melody and a super complicated drum pattern. It's just gonna be too much and there's no space for artists. I actually made this beat last year when KILJ asked for a pack for a collab with Midwest. I sent this one and a bunch of others and didn't hear about the song existing until just recently. That's just another reminder that when you're posting beats and trying to get placements, you gotta be really patient with this stuff. A lot of times the music industry runs really slowly, so you gotta wait a lot of time for your placements to come out. Sometimes you could be waiting for a year or even two for a song to come out, but it's worth it when it does. But yeah, this is how this beat was made. If you like the sounds and techniques I use, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe to the channel. We're gonna be dropping a lot more cool content just like this. So I'll see you guys in the next one.